Hello, everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that might sting for a moment. Have you ever looked in the mirror, traced your jawline with your fingers, and wondered if the way you wear your facial hair could be the silent reason why some women lean in closer, while others quietly pull away? You might think it's just about style or grooming, but the truth is, a woman often makes unconscious judgments about a man's worth, his confidence, and even his ability to protect or provide, based on something as simple as the hair on his face. That's the unease I want you to sit with right now. Because while you've been told, be yourself, or just grow what you like, the hidden reality is that women don't see facial hair as neutral. They read it like a language, a set of signals they can't help but respond to, whether with desire or dismissal. Imagine two men walking into the same room. One has a perfectly kept stubble, sharp, defined, hinting at danger, but also refinement. The other has a scraggly, unkempt beard that looks like it grew out of neglect rather than intention. They might have the same personality, the same income, even the same smile. But watch closely. The eyes of women won't linger the same. Attraction, repulsion, curiosity. It's not random, it's instinctual, and it's happening faster than you realize. What makes this so powerful is that your facial hair is not just decoration. It's a subconscious statement about who you are, what you tolerate, and what you demand. Stubble often signals intensity and sexual energy. A full, well-groomed beard whispers maturity, stability, and raw masculinity. A clean-shaven face can radiate youth, freshness, and trustworthiness. But push each of these too far, and the polarity flips. Stubble that's patchy, weakness. Beards that are too wild, carelessness. Shaven faces with no jawline definition, immaturity. Here's what women will never say out loud. They want your look to feel intentional, not accidental, not lazy, not desperate. The moment she senses you just let your face grow wild without thought, or you shaved because you didn't know what else to do, she feels the same about your life, that you move without direction, without command, without fire. And trust me, that's a silent deal breaker you'll never even hear about. So before you think it's all about luck or genetics, pause. Ask yourself, what is my facial hair really telling the world about me? Now, let's peel back another layer, because here's the part most men completely miss. Women aren't just reacting to the style of your facial hair. They are reacting to the story it tells about your identity, that scruffy beard you've been rocking. She's not just seeing beard. She's seeing how much effort you put into yourself, that perfectly trimmed stubble. She's reading discipline, attention to detail, even a hint of controlled danger. The clean-shaven look? She's deciphering youth, cleanliness, and the promise of someone who can be trusted in close quarters. Every hair, every line, every shadow on your jaw becomes a language that communicates without words. Here's the catch. Most men leave that language completely uncurated. They assume their personality will speak louder than their appearance. But the truth is, your appearance opens the door. Your personality only walks through it if you've piqued interest. You could be the smartest, funniest, most loyal man alive, but if your facial hair sends signals of laziness, uncertainty, or neglect, the door never opens. She won't even hear your jokes. She won't see your intelligence. She won't feel your loyalty. All she'll feel is hesitation, inconsistency, and a subtle sense of risk. Let me tell you something most men don't understand. Women subconsciously assign levels of high value or low value based on this silent communication. A rugged, intentional beard can trigger attraction because it signals maturity, confidence, and controlled masculinity. Patchy stubble or chaotic growth triggers avoidance. Instinctively, she senses disorder. That tiny detail can tilt the entire dynamic of a first encounter, a date, or even years of potential connection. You might not see it consciously, but her subconscious is running a detailed checklist, and your facial hair either ticks the right boxes or throws a big red flag. Think about the last time a woman looked at a man and her body language shifted almost instantly, leaning in slightly, touching her hair, mirroring subtle gestures. That's not luck. That's the primal signal sent by his grooming choices. Conversely, the instant she leans back, crosses her arms, or avoids eye contact, that too is a reaction to subtle cues, often including the state of his facial hair. Here's where most men completely blow it. They think facial hair is just about looking good or trendy. They see it as decoration, as if women are only assessing it through the lens of fashion. But let me tell you the raw truth. Women react to facial hair the way predators read body language in the wild. Every shadow along your jaw, every curve of your stubble, every line of your beard sends a message about your confidence, your discipline, and even your ability to protect and provide. It's not about what you like. It's about what she perceives, consciously or not, the instant she lays eyes on you. Consider this. A thick, well-maintained beard can instantly elevate a man's perceived status. Women associate it with experience, wisdom, dominance, and sexual energy. They see a man who has control, who commands respect without needing to shout for it. Now contrast that with a patchy, unkempt growth. She doesn't just see messy beard, she sees inconsistency, distraction, even weakness. Suddenly, she's scanning for flaws, questioning whether this man takes his life seriously, whether he can follow through in ways that matter. But it's not just the beard itself. The edges, the shape, the alignment with your facial structure, these all matter. Stubble that highlights a sharp jawline? Irresistible. It screams intensity and controlled masculinity. A beard that hides a soft jawline or is uneven? It triggers subtle avoidance. Clean-shaven faces? They can radiate youth, honesty, and approachability. But only if your features are strong, your grooming meticulous, and your presence intentional. Otherwise, clean-shaven can read as fragile or immature. This is why I always say, your facial hair isn't just hair, it's a mirror of your inner game. A man who neglects his facial hair sends the exact message he might never intend. I don't care, I don't focus, I don't commit. Women notice these tiny, subconscious signals immediately, and they react before you even speak. Attraction, curiosity, hesitation. They all flash across her body language in milliseconds, powered by instincts you can't fight. And here's the most important thing. This isn't about vanity. This is about strategy. You can't afford to leave it to chance if you want to consistently draw the kind of women who excite you, challenge you, and elevate your life. The moment you understand how to leverage your facial hair to signal high value, to broadcast control, confidence, and masculinity without saying a word, you become magnetic. Now let's dive deeper, because here's where most men get stuck. They overestimate their style and underestimate the psychological impact of facial hair. It's not enough to just have a beard or grow stubble. Every line, every length, every shadow is scrutinized by women on a subconscious level, and their reactions are instantaneous, silent, and powerful. A beard isn't just hair on your face, it's a psychological weapon, a tool of attraction or repulsion, depending on how you wield it. Take stubble, for example. A perfectly trimmed 3-day stubble does something remarkable. It signals controlled aggression. It says, I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm not afraid of a challenge. Women see that and lean in, but let that same stubble grow patchy or uneven, and the narrative flips. Suddenly, it reads as careless, distracted, or even lazy. That tiny shift can decide whether she notices you or glances past you. Clean-shaven men face a different but equally critical challenge. A smooth jaw can radiate youth, cleanliness, and approachability. But if your face lacks structure, or if your grooming seems rushed, clean-shaven can read as weak or indecisive. Here's the kicker. Women are not consciously thinking about these things. They're not taking a mental poll like, Does his stubble look intentional or sloppy? Their minds bypass thought entirely. Their emotions react first, and then their logic catches up. They feel attraction or hesitation long before you even open your mouth. This is why a man with a perfectly maintained beard walks into a room and immediately commands attention, while a man with careless growth fades into the background, no matter how talented, funny, or successful he might be. Your facial hair is essentially a frame for the story your face tells. It amplifies your jawline, your cheekbones, your confidence, and even your perceived masculinity. It's not just cosmetic, it's evolutionary. Women are wired to read these cues. They are assessing dominance, reliability, and sexual energy in microseconds. And your facial hair either enhances those signals or sabotages them. So here's the challenge. Are you intentional or are you lazy? Are you grooming your face to strategically broadcast the man you want her to see? Or are you letting randomness define your first impression? Because in attraction, intention matters more than effort. It's the subtle control of your image, the precise angle of your beard, the shadow of your stubble, that separates the men women desire from the ones they politely ignore. Think about it. If your facial hair could act as a magnet or a barrier, which would you choose it to be? That choice is entirely in your hands. Let's get even more real, because this is where most men trip without even knowing it. You might think women love or hate a beard purely based on aesthetics, but it's far deeper than that. It's about what your facial hair communicates about your inner world. A meticulously groomed beard isn't just attractive, it's a statement. It tells her you have discipline, that you value yourself, that you understand subtle power. Stubble, when worn intentionally, broadcasts controlled danger. A man who is confident, exciting, and unapologetically masculine. Clean-shaven can suggest youth and approachability, but only if every line, angle, and detail is deliberate. Otherwise, it whispers indecision, passivity, and vulnerability. Here's a harsh truth. Women will often react negatively to the wrong facial hair without ever telling you why. They won't say, "Your stubble is patchy, it signals laziness." Instead, they'll lean back, close themselves off, or check their phone. That subtle pullback? That's their body screaming, "I don't trust you to lead, protect, or excite me." It happens faster than thought. And if you're not intentional with your facial hair, you've already lost the psychological battle before you've spoken a word. Even more powerful, women are drawn to contrast. A beard that highlights a strong jawline or sharp cheekbones amplifies attraction. Stubble that grazes the edge of a masculine face creates tension and curiosity. Clean-shaven men with symmetry and structure evoke trust and safety. But if your facial hair hides or distorts these features, you're unintentionally blurring the signals. You're telling a different story than the one you want her to read. The subtle cues your facial hair sends can influence everything from her body language to her sexual interest. Patchy or unkempt growth communicates neglect. A beard that is too long or wild reads as uncontrolled. A perfectly aligned stubble? It signals that you are intentional, that you understand boundaries, that you are a man who can be counted on. And subconsciously, that excites women on levels they don't even realize. Here's the takeaway. Your facial hair is more than appearance. It's a weapon, a magnet, a communication tool. Every strand matters, every line speaks, every shadow communicates your intentions. Stop thinking of it as vanity and start seeing it as strategy. Master your facial hair, and you master a silent psychological key to attraction that most men never even recognize exists. Now ask yourself, am I sending signals that make her lean in or push away? This is the moment where intent becomes everything. Here's a truth most men refuse to face. Women notice every inconsistency in your grooming before they even listen to your words. That uneven beard, the random patch of stubble, the neglected mustache. They're tiny details that send massive subconscious messages. And here's the brutal part. She isn't judging your style. She's judging your discipline, your self-respect, and your ability to take control of your life. Facial hair is not decoration. It's a reflection of your inner standards, projected outward for the world to see. Let's talk about beards specifically, because this is where so many men sabotage themselves without realizing it. A full, thick, well-maintained beard communicates stability, dominance, and maturity. It tells her that you understand who you are and what you want. But when that same beard is unkempt or patchy, it flips the script entirely. Suddenly, it whispers weakness, laziness, and lack of control, qualities that are fundamentally unattractive to women seeking a high-value partner. The line between attraction and repulsion is microscopic, and your grooming choices are the tipping point. Stubble, on the other hand, is a masterclass in psychological tension. A few days of controlled growth hints at danger, intensity, and raw masculinity. It creates a magnetic pull that women feel even before they understand it. But stubble that is inconsistent, uneven, or sloppy, that same pull reverses, replacing intrigue with doubt. She senses chaos, lack of attention, and unknowingly associates it with other areas of your life. Attraction doesn't just fade, it evaporates. Even clean-shaven men face the same scrutiny. The absence of hair can highlight youth, honesty, and accessibility. But it also exposes weaknesses. A face without structure or intent can read as soft, passive, or unremarkable. Clean-shaven men must rely on precision and symmetry, every shave, every line, every detail intentional. Otherwise, their appearance communicates hesitation rather than confidence. The key takeaway is this: your facial hair is never neutral. It is constantly sending signals about your confidence, your discipline, and your masculine energy. Women are wired to pick up on these cues in milliseconds. The difference between attraction and rejection often hinges on one simple truth: intention. Are you growing, shaping, and maintaining your facial hair to broadcast power and confidence? Or are you leaving it to chance, unknowingly repelling the very women you desire? Ask yourself, when she looks at me, does my facial hair make her lean in or pull away? That answer will reveal everything. Here's a reality most men never face. Your facial hair can either be your greatest ally in attraction or your silent saboteur, and the difference is intention. Women aren't evaluating it in isolation. They're reading your grooming choices as a reflection of who you are, your discipline, and your ability to take command of your life. A man who grows a beard or stubble haphazardly broadcasts carelessness. A man who shapes it, maintains it, and wears it with precision broadcasts mastery. That distinction is invisible on the surface but felt instantly. Think about this. A woman doesn't need to consciously analyze your beard to respond. Her subconscious does it first. A strong, defined beard frames a jawline, creating shadows that emphasize masculinity. Stubble highlights angles, evoking controlled danger. Clean-shaven faces with symmetrical features radiate trustworthiness. Every choice you make either pulls her toward you or subtly pushes her away. It's not magic, it's evolutionary psychology. She is assessing your capability, dominance, and reliability in the blink of an eye. Here's what separates high-value men from the rest. They understand the psychological weight of these small details. They know that the wrong facial hair can undermine years of confidence, charisma, and accomplishments in a single glance. Patchy beards, overgrown stubble, sloppy shaving, these are more than aesthetic mistakes. They're silent red flags that she reads as inconsistent, undisciplined, or less desirable. On the other hand, men who use facial hair strategically create a magnetic presence before speaking. The right style acts like a silent handshake with her instincts. I am confident, I am capable, I am intentional. And this goes beyond just attraction. It's about self-perception too. When you maintain your facial hair with intention, you reinforce discipline, pride, and personal standards. You show the world, without saying a word, that you care about how you present yourself, that you command your environment, and that you are deliberate in your choices. Women notice this instinctively, and they are drawn to it, even if they cannot explain why. So here's the moment of clarity. Are you allowing your facial hair to communicate uncertainty, or are you using it as a tool to amplify your presence, confidence, and masculine energy? Because the answer to that question could redefine how women see, feel, and respond to you in every interaction. Ask yourself, am I being intentional with the silent signals I send, or am I leaving attraction to chance? The difference will be written all over your face. Now, let's bring everything together, because this is where most men fail to connect the dots. Your facial hair isn't just about aesthetics, it's about psychology, perception, and power. Women are subconsciously analyzing every detail of your grooming, every shadow, every line, every curve. They are reading you before you speak, evaluating your confidence, your discipline, and your masculine energy, all through the lens of your facial hair. And here's the truth. If you ignore it, you're leaving one of the most potent tools of attraction to chance. Think about the last time you noticed a man and couldn't explain why he caught your attention. That's the power of intentional grooming. A well-maintained beard, precise stubble, or clean-shaven look with strong facial structure sends an unspoken signal. I know who I am, I care about how I present myself, and I am deliberate in my choices. The same face, unkempt, sloppy, or patchy, communicates the opposite: uncertainty, carelessness, a lack of control. These micro-signals dictate whether she leans in or pulls away, often without either of you realizing it. The critical difference lies in intention. Men who understand this use their facial hair as a strategic tool. They align it with their facial structure, their style, and the message they want to broadcast. Stubble becomes tension and intrigue. Beards communicate maturity and dominance. Clean-shaven radiates youth and approachability. Every choice amplifies their presence or diminishes it. Women aren't just noticing, they are feeling, reacting, and subconsciously calculating your value as a partner, friend, or potential lover. But here's the most important insight. This isn't vanity, it's self-mastery. Controlling your facial hair is controlling the narrative of how the world sees you. It's a silent authority that precedes your words, and when done right, it creates magnetic attraction, respect, and admiration. Neglect it, and the same world misinterprets you as weak, indecisive, or careless. The power to shape perception lies entirely in your hands, or on your face, more accurately. So here's my challenge to you. Consider your beard, stubble, or clean-shaven choice as an equation of attraction. Intentional grooming plus aligned facial structure equals magnetic presence. Neglect plus inconsistency equals subtle rejection. I want you to think about your own reflection right now and ask yourself, are you solving that equation correctly? Comment below with your answer to this. If your grooming tells a story of confidence and discipline, how would she react compared to sloppy or careless growth? Like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear this truth. Because attraction is in the details, and now you know which ones matter most.